Hello everyone! If you're new here, my name is Crystal, also known as The.Book.Gypsy, and today I am going to be sharing with you my Spook A Thon TBR. Spook A Thon Readathon is from October 15th to October 21st, so that's a whole week of reading challenges that I'm going to be doing, hopefully. I already participated in the Books in the Freezer readathon, which was excellent. I love that it was 2 weeks long, and I hope more readathons happen that are 2 weeks long because I feel like I can accomplish so much more in 2 weeks than in 1 week. But today I'm going to be sharing with you my picks for the Spook-A-Thon, and I'm so excited to be participating in my first Spook-A-Thon this year since everybody in BookTube world participates in this readathon. Kayla from Books and Lala created this readathon along with 2 of her friends, Shannon and Peter is actually hosting it as well. I'll leave links to their channels down below so you can check them out if you have not already. And so yeah, let's get into it. The first challenge is read a thriller. So for this, I'm going to go with Final Girls by Riley Sager. I've had this on my TBR. I want to say it's one of my first ever book of the month picks that I got, but I'm going to be reading this on audiobook. I feel like for readathons I have to have at least 1 or 2 audiobooks for the week just because it helps reading go by so much quicker, and I do enjoy listening to thrillers as audiobooks. I feel like I get more absorbed into the story. Final Girls is basically about final girls, so I feel like it's the perfect horror thriller to be reading during a Spook-A-Thon during the Halloween season. So I am excited to read that book. I don't know much more about it, and I don't want to know much more about it because I don't like to know too much about thrillers when I read them because I don't want anything to influence my view of what's going to happen in the end by knowing what might happen in the end. The next challenge is read a book with purple on the cover. And I'm going to go with the group book pick, which is Toil and Trouble by, well, it's edited by Jessica Spotswood and Tess Sharp, and it's 15 short stories about women and witchcraft, and I am so excited to be reading this. I did read 2 of the stories that were in here already, so I don't know if that's cheating, but I couldn't help myself when I first got the book. But I'm excited to finish this up and buddy read it with everybody else that is doing the readathon. The next challenge is read a book that is not set in the current time period. For that challenge, I'm going with The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein by Kiersten White. I've been long awaiting this book, and I'm excited for this. It's like a Frankenstein retelling, but a lot of people get confused about Frankenstein and the monster. It's Frankenstein's monster, and then Frankenstein is the doctor who created the monster. So this is kind of, I want to say, a love story, and it follows Elizabeth Frankenstein, and she is looking for Victor, and he has disappeared. She is part of the family. She was an orphan, and they basically adopted her, but they called her a cousin to Victor. So she grew up with Victor Frankenstein, and he always was very a little weird, a little off kilter, very much to himself, and he kind of goes off on his own as he gets older, and she's looking for him and she wants to know what's going on. So I'm excited to see how this portrays from the woman's standpoint and not from Victor Frankenstein's standpoint. So yeah, I don't really know much more than that. Next challenge is read a book with a spooky word on the title. And for that, I am going with Kill Creek by Scott Thomas. This is a anticipated read for me this season. I'm very much excited to get into this book. I know it is about a bunch of writers who go up to this haunted house and things happen. So I feel like this would be a great movie, but let me read it first and I'll let you know what I think about it. But I've heard nothing but great things about this book. So please don't leave any spoilers down below because I am so excited to be reading this book for the Spook-A-Thon. The last challenge is read a book with pictures. That I am going with Witches, and this is by, I guess, a couple of authors, Snyder, Jock, Hollingsworth, and Robbins. I've heard that this is one of the best horror graphic novels out there. It is super spooky, so why not? Why not for Spook-A-Thon? I've owned this for quite some time. I actually have a signed copy somewhere in this room filled with books. I do have a signed copy from a friend that she had gotten from Comic-Con one year. but I'm not gonna read the signed copy because it's in like a little frame and it's like, yeah, you know what I mean. I'm excited to read this, and Stephen King did quote it. It's a fabulous triumph. So if he quoted it and he enjoyed it, I feel like I'm gonna enjoy it. So Witches is my book with pictures, and the pictures in here are like super detailed. I don't want to ruin anything for anybody, but they're like super detailed and super bloody and super dark. I love the colors that they use. So I'm excited to read this as my 5th challenge for the Spook-A-Thon. So that is it for my Spook-A-Thon TBR. I am starting to feel a little burnt out with all the reading that I've been doing, but that is what I saved October for. I saved all these books to read in October because October is just such a fun reading month, and I do really enjoy reading horror books, but I read most of them in October, and then by November, December I take a little break. I will probably like reread Harry Potter or something just to get all the darkness and creepiness away from me. Hope you enjoyed this. I hope you guys are all participating, and if you are participating, let me know down below so I could check out your video, and I want to see what you guys are reading. Let me know if if any of you are reading the books that I'm reading for Spook-A-Thon. And yeah, so that is it for this video. If you like this video, just like and subscribe down below, and I will be talking to you guys soon. Bye!